Hello, and welcome to Lesson 1 of the New Mexico Secretary of State Election Challenger, Watcher, and Observer Training Class. In this lesson, we will go over an introduction, covering some basic terminology and frequently asked questions, as well as information on how to access information to interpose a challenge. Let's begin by going over some frequently used terminology. What do all these roles mean? Election watchers are appointed by political parties and other qualified groups to observe the election process at a polling location and must be registered voters in the state. An election observer is an academic interested in learning about the voting process. This means a person registered with the United States Department of State as an international election observer, or a person registered with the New Mexico Secretary of State who is an academic engaged in research on elections and the election process. Election challengers are in partisan elections and are appointed by the county chair of each political party represented on the ballot and must be voters of a precinct located in the county in which they are appointed. A presiding judge is the supervising poll worker at the polling location. This is who you should check in with and is the only person at the polling location with whom you should communicate directly. Now we will review some frequently asked questions. What do I need to do when I arrive at the polling place? When you arrive at the polling place, check in with the presiding judge. How long can you observe for? You may observe the election process from the time the poll workers begin their setup in the morning until the votes have been tabulated. Who can you talk to? Questions should be kept to a minimum and directed to the presiding judge only. If you have general questions on the election process, contact your county clerk. Do not talk to voters or other poll workers during the election. And please remember to respect everyone at the polling location. Can I take pictures? No. You may not take pictures as an election challenger, watcher, or observer, but you may take written notes. May I bring guests to the polling location? No. Only registered and approved challengers, watchers, and observers, along with voters and poll workers, may be at the polling location. Where can I go and what can I observe? Don't stand in the way of the voters or poll workers. In order to protect the personal identifying information of the voters, you may not observe the screen of the e-poll book or the same-day registration station. You may be in earshot of the voters being checked into the e-poll books so that you can observe the verbal exchange between poll worker and voter, and you may observe the tabulators being used so long as you do not view the marked ballot of any voter. For election challengers, we will now cover how to access information to interpose a challenge at the polling location. Per the election statute, each county clerk has flexibility at their option to provide the challenger at a given polling place with the information necessary to check that the information given by the voter matches that on the official voter rolls, in the manner the clerk deems fit, which may, but is not required to, include a laptop or other clerk-provided printed source of the information, so long as the information does not include any protected voter information. If a county clerk elects not to provide the challenger at a given polling place with the information needed to conduct the verification, to check that the information given by the voter matches that on the official voter rolls, then the clerk will ensure that the challenger is given reasonable accommodations to bring their own sources of the information to the polling place and to reference it while remaining close enough to the poll worker to hear the exchange between the voter and poll workers during voter check-in. These reasonable accommodations should include A. The regular provision of up-to-date voter rolls and absentee registers to the chairperson of each county political party to distribute to the party challengers. B. Allowing challengers to bring a laptop or tablet containing these files into the polling place and to access those files. C. Providing seating reasonably near the poll worker such that a person of ordinary hearing ability can overhear the full verbal exchange between the voter and the election judge or clerk. And D. Providing a reasonable opportunity for the challenger to charge their laptop or tablet, including, if the setup of the polling place allows, continuous charging while seated near the poll worker. Though laptops will be allowed in the polling place for challengers, they may only be used for the permitted activities of a challenger and for no other purpose. In polling places at which more than one poll worker is checking in voters, the challenger need not be provided with seating nearby to each poll worker, but should be given a reasonable opportunity to move unobtrusively between such poll workers. Please remember to respect the rights of the voters at the polling location. If you have any questions on this portion of the training content, please contact your county clerk's office.